Hey guys, as I am finishing my Infinity Nikki cycle of content and preparing the last review for it, I wanted to use this game as a good example in this big discussion on sexualization versus desexualization of female characters in games. And the reason why it was this specific game that has inspired me to do this video is because it just hits that middle ground with its design and approach. If we disregard stylized features and anime style of characters, which is a matter of preferences and taste of course, it is safe to say that the main protagonist is clearly designed to be beautiful and feminine. For her own body type and proportions, she's pretty much a top model kind of character with soft voice, feminine gestures, and even in platforming and combat part of the game, her moveset is very smooth and soft with accentuated feminine grace. And this is the game which forces you to dress more modestly if you wanna drive a bicycle, like you can't drive it in a miniskirt, you need longer skirt or pants. There are a bunch of other measures taken to sort of desexualize this dress-up game with all the camera angle restrictions and fade-outs and stuff like this. And in general, even though the sexiness of outfits is an actual stat in the game, everything is just toned down. So it's not First Descendant premium skins kind of sexiness or Stellar Blade sexiness. And yet, even though everything is toned down, it is all done without any downgrades to attractiveness and beauty. But now, imagine if Infinity Nikki would be transferred or given to some of those notorious Western devs, let's say Naughty Dog, and they were tasked with keeping sexualization down. What would happen then? Well, we already know what would happen. Nikki would be uglified. This is the only method woke developers know and use in order to desexualize something. Nikki would be given a bigger chin, some trendy skin condition, extra weight, androgynous body type, annoying voice, screeching girl boss demeanor, etc. She would look like she takes steroids in the mornings and drugs in the evening. But why this is the way woke developers always seem to choose? Why do they fail at a simple task that others can complete without any troubles, as was shown by devs of Infinity Nikki? Problem with woke developers lies in the, well, woke part of their nature, in ideological mind that twists everything and creates tension and pseudo issues that have to be resolved according to ideological dogmas. For example, from the perspective of any normal human being, desexualization could be easily achieved by modesty. Let's say you are a pretty woman and you dress up for an event where you absolutely have to tone down sex appeal. Maybe it's a funerals or a visit to a church or something like this. You don't have to smear your attractive face with fisses. You don't have to gain weight on purpose. You just use a modest outfit, don't abuse makeup, don't act in a vulgar way, and yeah, the task is easily completed. The problem is that for ideological mind, none of this is viable. Because modesty is a concept of that evil, patriarchal, religious, and traditional society. And if you read Reddit often enough, you know these are all very bad words. So ideological zealot can't use modesty. It would be very misogynistic to assume that a woman might need to change or alter her behavior or looks to achieve some kind of cultural norm or standards. Another way you might desexualize your game character is to make it just more wholesome, cozy, feminine in a caring or maternal way. This is what often happens in Infinity Nikki, where she's portrayed as a very kind person. But you do see a problem here, right? Our woke zombie can't use it because it would enforce the so-called gender stereotypes and roles, and we can't celebrate women being wholesome through their maternal instincts or through their feminine nature. We can't show them drifting towards caregiving roles and such. This is absolutely terrifying for the woke cultist who sees all of this as signs of institutionalized oppression. So you can't desexualize female character in any ways that seems natural to non-ideological normal human beings. Then what is left? to fight against the very concept of beauty and attractiveness. This is the only available option for a woke developer. This is why they have to de-feminize woman character. This is why they have to uglify it, deny it every single signature feminine trait or feature that can potentially be viewed as attractive by straight men, so that the end product is so repulsive that no one wants it. And then woke developer or a DEI consultancy group will be happy with their work. Asian developers, even from China, are free from this specific problem. They can still use normal tools to achieve desired results. They can tone down sex appeal, they can exaggerate cuteness, they can use modesty, and in general, they're just free to act as normal human beings who belong to a functioning culture. A luxury that woke developers don't have anymore because they are under constant stress and pressure from their ideological revolutionary struggle against everything that defines society. Society that their ideology needs to dismantle to build that infamous better world. If you have to be aware of misogynistic nature of sex appeal 24/7, if you have to remember that women being feminine is a part of some kind of big ideological issue, you can't leave all of it at the doorstep of your studio. You are terminally ill with these ideas, and they get everywhere, butchering creativity and killing your ability to make basic choices or remain aware of your client's preferences. Well, even worse, in your extremely ideological mind, your clients suddenly morph into enemies who need to be taught a lesson. You are not creating a product that has to fit clients' culture and taste, you gotta wage a war against those dissenting bigots. Therefore, you get those latest wins for Asian devs, cause they just freely move between lewd games and wholesome games, between characters designed meant to convey different messages or cause different emotions. They can freely make whatever they plan. From courtesan to a housewife, from a stylized sexy warrior to a cute girl next door, from a semi-fetishistic character to a wholesome one. They just have that creative freedom rooted in not being ideological zombies. Now, if 20 years ago someone would tell me that having basic human creativity and desire to please target audience gonna be a huge competitive advantage in a gaming business, I would be somewhat skeptical. Aren't those things an absolute bare minimum? Aren't they like a baseline for even starting a business? But here we are. Those fundamental things aren't even part of business model for some companies anymore. And suddenly, being a normal functioning human with a non-hostile attitude towards your clients is a significant advantage. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I see you later.